YouTube, how the heck you doing? This is Corey here with Wathcer of Realms. We are back with another one. So this is going to be the Chaotic faction. Now, I have a Valdron, Ajax, and Sargak as my three Chaotic units. We're using Boreas. Obviously, you can swap out Boreas for basically any other tank, but Boreas is the best one. You could use Regulus, for example, but for this purpose, we're using Boreas, right? And then we have Lily, which is probably, my opinion, the best guild healer in the game. So let's go ahead and set up the teams and explain the rationale. So first and foremost, let's go ahead and start setting this up here. Wait a second. We want it to be more akin to this. And then here we go. So this is going to be team number 1, right? Now the reason why we have it as this is because we want to go ahead and essentially prevent Sargak from getting heals, right? Because if Sargak gets heals, he does less damage because he's getting less attack speed based off his passive, right? So the first thing is we can't let him get heals. If you have a Carnelian, this works even better. You can basically put Sargak anywhere you want in the map, right? One of the negatives to using a healer such as Lily in this example is Valdron will not go ahead and get his AoE hit. But for us, that doesn't matter because we're having Ajax kind of fill in that gap for us immediately. So this is going to be team setup number 1. How it kind of works out is the enemy will go ahead and put down their units. They'll go through this path. They'll go to Valdron. Valdron will immediately ult, and by this point in time, he should have ult prepared, such as Sargak as well, and Ajax. So whenever the enemy goes ahead and places their units, they're likely going to try to bait out Sargak and Valdron. That is more than okay. And actually probably even Ajax as well will get baited. But the thing as to why that's okay is because one Sargak ults, he's going to be low HP, he's going to continuously do damage, and based off the pathing of Garnet guards, Garnets should actually go ahead and hit Ajax first, and then they'll hit Sargak. So that's okay. Our hope is that Sargak is able to take out the Garnets, same for Valdron, and same for Ajax, before they're able to really do meaningful damage to the rest of the field. And if they do take out Sargak, that's okay. You have Valdron that's here, you have Boreas that's going to tank, and you have Ajax that will also give you enough damage to hopefully stem the rest of the units that they drop. This team is also really good against Maw because Valdron exists. Now, let's go ahead and swap this because I think there's one placement that works better overall. So the placement is going to look something like this. You put Valdron here, put Boreas here, right? You go ahead and put your healer right here, and then you put Ajax here, right? So the reason why I'm doing this is, yes, I'm fully aware that I'm missing out on a decent amount of squares from Ajax. I'm not particularly too concerned about that. I go ahead and put Sargak here, and here's what happens, right? And here's why I don't mind Ajax being so far up here. Sargak is going to go ahead and ult. He is going to get 0 heals from Lily. And so, whenever he starts hitting any units that pass Boreas in the form of a swarm or anything like that, he's going to have a really good chance of rooting them. Boreas is going to have a great chance of freezing them. And Valdron's job is primarily to just start knocking units down based off his damage. Ajax kind of sets everything up from the initial onset. The second they get here in Valdron range, they're getting AoE hits from Ajax, AoE hits from Valdron occasionally, and then we should be good, right? So this is team setup number 1. If you want to swap out Ajax because you don't have him, that's more than fine. Something like an Eye would work really well here. Something like a Maul would probably work well here as well, right? This team is also really good against anti-air just based off of the setup. So let's go ahead and save this. And let's go and show you the keep, which I think is actually much more interesting based off of how it should function. And in a little bit, we're going to actually test it to see how does everything work. So first and foremost, here's the keep, right? We have Valdron in this square right here. We have Boreas here, Ajax right here, Lily, and then Sargak. Once again, Saryak is in a position to where he will get no heals, which is beneficial. We're going to test is just make sure that he is not getting hit by archers, but if he is, then we kind of just mess with the placements a little bit, and he should be okay. The purpose of Ajax here is because we want to start taking down these Garnet guards, which everyone's likely going to go ahead and start dropping the Garnet guards. We want to take them out immediately from this onset. The purpose of Valdron is to give them one good hit right here and knock them out alongside Saryak. Because what's going to happen is the Garnet guards are going to travel down here. They're going to hit Ajax, proc Lily's shield passive on him, and then Valdron, Ajax, Saryak, they should basically nuke them the second they get to this tile. So that is the hope. That's the plan. And if they're going to go ahead and use swarms, we have Ajax that is supposed to go ahead and deal with them the second they start getting over here. Valdron's job is to basically one-shot these skeletons, and Saryak is also supposed to do the exact same thing, right? So we're going to save this, and let's go ahead and transition over to the direct testing of this just to see how it's working. So 1 second. All right, so we're back, right? So let's go ahead and just run it down. We have this team that we're going to go ahead and chow. I have a random assortment of units just to go ahead and just overall get a general synopsis as to how it functions, right? So let's wait for the 8 cost. Let's drop the double garnets. And what we should see is it should get nuked off the face of the earth the second they get like right here. It's kind of sad watching them like go to their impending doom. There we go. Gone. Ajax untouched, unbothered, right? Next step is we're going to go ahead and drop the destroyer, and we're going to watch the rage regen on Valdron. The next step is we want to get to 10 cost and drop double mages. Here we go. Let's drop double mages. So this is a very slow process, right? So what we should see is this destroyer should go ahead and proc on the Brokir, and then Valdron and Ajax are going to get ult very quickly here and take him out. Valdron ults. And gone. And at this point, we had no potential risk of damage or dying. So we can reset this and let's do something else, right? And that was with mages getting free reign. Let's go ahead and see if we can develop a swarm against this. First and foremost, I want to go ahead and do this. We didn't even proc Valdron passive on the first run. So let's go ahead and do the destroyer. And let's set up 2 swarms here, because this is a long map. And I want to see if we can go and push the units further down. So let's see into the Saryak range specifically. So let's go ahead and get this set up. And then wait for the 10 cost and drop double dogs. Valdron ults. And then let's freeze it here and drop double dogs. Saryak ults, rooted, frozen. Juggled. Absolutely juggled. And let's do it again. And let's go ahead and replace the destroyers actually with tanks. All right. Let's go ahead and attack this. Remove the destroyers. Let's drop tanks instead. Let's go ahead and put these here. I want them as max to fill. Do it like this. Waste no time. Let's go straight to it. So the next step is we're going to drop the tanks. Even though these are all relatively weaker units, it doesn't matter to me. Drop the tank. 5 cost. And then the next step is we're probably going to drop another tank here. There we go. Wait for the 10 cost, drop double Necros. Here we go. Here we go. Tank 1 is gone. There we go. We're looking pretty good so far. Rokir goes ahead and ults. Let's wait for the 10 cost here. Double dogs, and we should see Ajax ult any second now. And procced. So we get one dog through. Not bad. Not bad. I would say it's relatively passable, right? Relatively passable. There's some tweaks that we can make to it, but decent performing overall. Next step is we're going to go ahead and trial the keeps and see how they perform. Now with keeps, it's a little bit different because with keeps, we're primarily seeing swarms kind of get built here. And then also let's do a garnet test as well. Because even with Sargak, we can tweak Sargak and actually use a unit such as Dahlia, for example, where Dahlia will slow the units down, provide decent magic damage as well. And that might be even more beneficial than using a Sargak. Or using a Maul, for example, might be better. Because overall, it doesn't seem like our issue is damage. It's mainly stemming the bleeding of the units. So that could be one thing that we kind of look at. All right, let's go ahead and build this team super quickly here. Let's grab the Garnet guards, see how they do. Where are my Garnets? There they are. All right, let's go ahead and get this set up here and run it down. Oh, also, wait, let's go ahead and grab archers. That's the last thing we want to grab. Let's see here. Keep and archers. I don't mind if the archers are the lowest to fill. I just want to see if they hit Sargak, because that gives us a lot of information overall placements moving forward. Let's go ahead and freeze this. Let's just drop one. Do they hit Sargak? Ah, they don't. They hit Valderon. Interesting. So Sargak is safe. So that's important to note. All right, let's drop the double garnets, because now we know this tile is safe as long as the unit's here. If the unit's not here, then I suspect they might actually hit. Awesome. So Valderon's ulted. They should hit. I like that. I very much like how that worked. All right, let's go ahead and drop the double Necros. Wait for the 10 cost and then drop the double dogs. Let's see how we perform. This all is dependent on how Ajax functions moving forward now, because he's going to ult, take out these units. We have double dogs ready, and let's see if the additional unit here helps us out. And it fails. Interesting. This is literally the issue that we keep facing when it comes to the keep. Whenever you go ahead and use the keeps, it seems like that strategy just is so viable. Now, let me go ahead and make this even more clear cut, right? I'm going to do it with 2 units. And mind you, I'm doing this with 2 units because the issue with the keeps so far from all testing is this just seems to work every single time. So let's go ahead and do this. Because what happens is these skeletons move so far down the field that you just stack them up. Your best bet is to nuke the actual Necros way earlier. So let's go ahead and see if we can get that set up. Let's drop the double dogs now. Necro should spawn right now. There we go. So that is the issue with the keep map, right? And I can go ahead and chow basically any team. I could use Necros and Dogs, get through probably 9 times out of 10, right? There's 2 little blocks. So I would say for the keep, chaotic teams fail. They're just not good enough. But then again, there's really no team right now that's genuinely good enough to stop just getting too united. And then for the tower, I'd say it's a relative pass. However, you might want to go and chain Sargak out and go ahead and use a Maul, for example, or a Dahlia, something to kind of prevent these units from getting close enough to getting swarmed. Just push them back a little bit and then you should be good. Anyways, see ya. That's the chaotic teams.